Alright, so I should be live as of right now. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about today. But before we get started, I want to share with you guys some things as we wait for people to join. First of them being, if you didn't know that the live stream was postponed 2 hours, from now on, my last Sunday of the month live stream is going to be at 12 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock. Lady in the Woods, how's it going? And so everything's switching over 2 hours, or 2 hours. But yeah, I figured I'd show. If you guys didn't know that, it's probably because you guys aren't a part of my Facebook, because it's here on Facebook and Twitter. So if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, you can get notified of things that are coming up and changes that I might make. I'm doing really well, thank you for asking. Another thing that I want to do real quick as we're waiting for people is you can also follow me on Instagram. I'm on Pinterest, wolfpackwoodcraft.com, where I have a lot of great Caroline just wrote this article on the state park that we stayed at. A lot of my best videos are in here. Here's a camping with your dog article. I'm also on Reddit, and you can find me on Patreon as well, so you can find me all over the place. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. Hey Dark Matter, how's it going? Yeah, so I want to talk about survival and survival situations today. As long as I'm live and I got some feedback, I want to hear more advice from you guys. And so, talking about, because there's a lot of controversy right now about people saying that the best survival knife is the one you have on you, and so it could be any knife, whatever it is, that's the best survival knife because that's what you have on you. And I really don't think that saying holds a lot of weight, because you get to choose what knife you have on you. You know what I mean? You're a big survivalist, Dark Matter. You can survive the night, you can survive anything. Yeah. But there's a lot of talk going around right now about how the survival knife that you have, or the knife you have on you, is the best survival knife. And I don't think that that's accurate, because if I carry around this little Batman knife, you know, and I choose to carry this with me, this isn't a good survival knife. This isn't a good anything knife. Surgical stainless steel. It's uncomfortable because it's in the shape of Batman. Like, this isn't a survival knife. This isn't anything. And if I choose to carry this, that doesn't make it a good survival knife, right? Same with these cheap zombie hunter knives, right? That are super hard to flip because they're cheap. This isn't a good survival knife. If I choose to carry this doesn't automatically make it my survival knife. I'm gonna have a really hard time if I do use that. You know, you need to carry something substantial. Yeah, I use the bat wings to fly away. Just take it out of my utility belt. You know, if you're gonna carry a folding knife, carry like a buck 110. You know, this is gonna perform a lot better than any of those cheap knives will. But again, it's not a good survival knife, but it's at least better than what you had. You know what I mean? Like, the best survival knife is whatever you have on you. Doesn't make it a good survival knife. You need to carry something that's going to perform, so that if you're in a situation, you have something that you know how to use and know is gonna work. Falcon even A1, yeah. Yeah, even the I'm Batman. But yeah, even if you're gonna carry a fixed blade, you know, carrying this cheap skeleton knife, this doesn't make it my survival knife because I chose to carry this. I should know better than to choose to carry something like this, or even this more a fillet knife. You know, this is something that you might carry with you as a fillet knife if you're out fishing, but this shouldn't be your survival knife. This shouldn't be what you're carrying in case of an emergency. You should be carrying something substantial like a more Garberg. This is a much better option if something were to happen. And so this whole, the survival knife is the one you have on you. Well, you get to pick the one you have on you. Yeah, see? And the BK2, I got one of those right here too. BK2. See, this again, this is a great knife. This is a great option. I'd be happy to have this in any situation. But the thing is another topic I want to bring up is this is a big chunk of steel. And if I'm not experienced using this big chunk of steel, if I'm more experienced with a more companion, the more companion is going to be a better option because I know how to use it. I know what I can do and what I can't do with this. You know, or with this, it's big and it's bulky, and I'm gonna break a lot of stuff that I normally can do no problem with this. And so your skill set and the knife that you carry on you should meet a certain criteria. You know, it shouldn't just be the knife you have on you is the best survival knife. You should carry a knife that sways towards being a good emergency knife. Yeah, love them too. Yeah, they're everywhere. Even if you want to carry a big knife, you know, we've all been here. If you own one of these hollow handle knives, just know I had to start from the beginning too. we learned from the very beginning. So this has the emergency little fishing kit and thread and needle. It's got the compass on the bottom. But yeah, this, if I choose to carry this, I'm setting myself up for failure. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to perform what I need to perform with this knife, so I shouldn't choose to carry this. I shouldn't be stuck in a situation where this is my best knife. Thank you so much for the super chat, JT Minnesota. Good to see you too. Your photography keeps getting better and better every day. I always watch it, and you're doing good. The law around here kind of frown on carrying a big knife. See, in Minnesota, you can carry any length knife you want, hidden or concealed or open carried. You can carry a sword if you wanted to, as long as no one feels threatened, right? As soon as somebody feels threatened, then it's illegal. And so how do you know when you walk into a building, how do you know how the people around are going to feel? And so the law is very sketchy when it comes to carrying stuff. It's not illegal until somebody feels threatened, then it is illegal. Then you're carrying a weapon. So it's not fun. That's my first super chat ever. $5. Thank you so much. Yeah, see, even here, let me catch up on comments. Yeah, Rambo. Yep, he was my hero a long time ago. How's it going? Backpacking in Colorado, that'd be fun. It'd be lots of fun. My uncle lives in Colorado. I always want to go visit him, but it's hard to find the time. Danny, it's good to see you. Glad you stopped by. Yeah, I got a new video every Sunday and Thursday, and sometimes even Tuesday. It's over 3 inches long. Yeah. I'll probably be live for about an hour. And so yeah, like I said, in Minnesota, you can open or conceal carry any blade you want as long as it isn't a switchblade. Switchblades you're not even allowed to own. They're completely illegal, which is crazy to me, but yeah, as long as it's not a switchblade, you can carry any length you want. Creative redundancy, how's it going? But if somebody feels threatened or feels like it's uncomfortable, then it becomes a weapon. And so it has nothing to do with the size. It has nothing to do with anything. It has to do with the people in your environment. And that's a scary thing to think about, because they can even if they don't feel it, they can say it, and it's just the way it is. Yeah, I hope you have a great night at work, or day at work, afternoon at work. I'll get it eventually. Yeah, they don't have switchblades don't really have a purpose, but I don't see why they're looked at as more dangerous than a sword. You know, like switchblades are like looked at as this big, horrible thing, you know, and it's I could carry a sword down Main Street and that's legal, but to have a switchblade in the drawer, in my underwear drawer, is illegal. Like, I don't understand why they feel they're so dangerous. Hey, Flash in the Pan. It's nice to see you. But getting back to Colorado's nicest time of year. Yeah, it doesn't get hot though. I think it gets hot. But yeah, like I was gonna say before too, is the your survival knife's the one you have on you. Here I have a Jessica X. Now this is the original Jessica. I don't like this knife, for the record, but I own it. And it's a good knife. It's a well capable knife. You can do a lot of stuff with this, but I don't like it. It's not comfortable to me. It doesn't fit my hand. And so for me to choose to carry this and expect this to be my survival option is not intelligent of me, right? I should be carrying something that I am experienced with and comfortable with. And even though I'm carrying a knife that is capable, even though I'm carrying a knife that is big enough to perform what I want it to perform, doesn't mean that that's what I should carry. You know, I should carry even this right here. You all know this is my favorite knife, the Larry Roberts Genesis. This is my favorite knife. It's been my favorite knife for a really long time. But carrying this is better than carrying that big blade, because that big blade I'm not experienced with. It's not comfortable. It's not going to perform what I can perform with this comfortably. Same with, if I had to have a big blade, I would carry my Becker BK9, because I've had this thing for a really, really long time. I know exactly what it can do. I've done a lot of work with this knife, and so this is a way better option than if somebody handed me a $300 perfect survival knife that I've never used before. I'd rather have my BK9 and rely on that than anything else. How's it going? A lot of people today. I think going live later helps too. Yeah, see, we can carry butterfly knives. You just can't push a button and have a blade. So we can carry bell songs, butterfly knives. We can carry anything. We can carry anything as long as it's not a switchblade, and as long as nobody feels threatened or as long as everybody's comfy cozy, you can carry whatever knife you want. But you can't control how people feel, so that I don't know. Yeah, and then the same thing goes. So when it comes to the knife, you need to carry a knife that can perform in the situations that might happen. And you go to a party. Party over at Danny's house. No stilettos. If you push a button and there's a blade comes out, even like out the front or anything, if you push a button and a blade comes out, they're illegal to own in Minnesota. Yeah, even like they have the wave feature, so the Emerson wave feature, where it hooks onto your pocket, so as you pull the knife out, the blade comes out with it. Those are legal, and those are faster than a switchblade, because a switchblade you have to pull out and push the button, where these are deployed just by pulling it out of your pocket. I don't know. I understand that there's no place for them. Like most, like they don't serve a purpose. You know, nobody's using a switchblade to whittle or do anything productive with it. I just don't understand why it's considered such a deadly weapon. Like, why is it such a threat to society? When again, you can carry a sword. You can own a sword. Yeah, I'm the same way. I got everything I have has a reason. There's a reason I bought it. Kinda. I buy stuff because it's cool. I'm guilty of that, but I make sure that I have all my bases covered before I buy the cool stuff. And so I got a lot of knives on the table here. Even this. Even my Vengeful One. Oops. So this is a capable knife as well as CPM 3V, big chopper, big handle. I've been using this. I've been practicing with this. And so I would be confident carrying this in the woods with me and depending on it. But again, I don't have as much work with this as I have with this. And so this is still a better option in my opinion, because I've done it. You know, I know how to do it because I've done it. I haven't made a spoon with this knife. I haven't, you know, other than chopping and batoning and starting fire. That's pretty much all I've done with this knife. With this knife, I have a lot more experience. I've made a spoon. I've made traps. I've made a figure 4 deadfall. You know, I've done it, so I know how to do it. And I think that's an important thing to have as well. Are you going to that, are you frying up fish for your birthday? Or is it rainy? Yeah. But yeah, how's it going? So for those of you that are just joining, the live streams, the last Sunday of the month, I always go live. They're going to be at 12 o'clock instead of 10 o'clock. Because Caroline started working nights. She got switched to the night shift at her job. And so she gets home around 10. And so I'd rather have her. Yep, I live in Minnesota. Lived in Minnesota my whole life. Yeah, it's awesome up here. I love it. No. How's it going, Fred? It's going good. Yeah, another thing is like a survival situation. A lot of people, they make like survival kits, right? And they make like survival stuff. And in my opinion, if you have a kit with everything you need, you're not in a survival situation, because you have, you know, your life's not in danger if you have everything you need. It's gonna suck. It's gonna feel like you're on an episode of Alone, but you're still fine. You're still gonna be okay. And yeah, so when it comes to a survival situation, you had to have lost that kit in order to be in a survival situation. Like, your life has to be in danger in order to be in a survival situation. So a lot of people, they build these survival kits and they buy the survival knives and they carry all this stuff with them. And to me, that's a preventative. That's to prevent yourself from being put into a survival situation, right? When you lose all that and you have nothing, that's when the survival situation starts. Too many people think that like getting lost is a survival situation, when getting lost isn't a survival situation. Your life isn't in danger because you're lost, right? It's when you've gone 2.5 days with no water that and you're lost, you got 2.5 days without water, now it's starting to become a survival situation. Now you're worried about dehydration and you're worried about a lot of things. And in a situation like that, bow drill fires aren't going to help you. Bush shrub shelters and constructing natural shelters isn't going to help you. The only thing that's going to help you is your ability to read and navigate a compass. And so when it comes to survival situations, to me, it's not just a oh crap situation, like I don't want to be here, this shouldn't have happened situation. It's your life is in danger, in which case you don't have the kit, you don't have the ability to have what you need. Make a water still, yeah. See, it's those skills, and everybody they have their survival kit. They know how to make a bow drill fire, so they think they're covered. You know, where you're not covered. You need to know how to make those solar water stills. You need to learn, like, if you have a bag to wrap around branches, and all that other knowledge that comes with food, water, and shelter. Or digging down to the water table if you know the area well enough to know you'll actually reach it. Yep, that's true. Yep, it's all about practice, 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 so that if you're in a situation, you have the mindset to get through it, basically. Yeah, I live in having 10,000 lakes, over 10,000 lakes. I mean, I never really have to go very far at all to get water. No, there's water everywhere. I can walk down the street and there's a river. In downtown Alexandria, like downtown, middle of Broadway, the heart of Alexandria, there's 2 or 3 lakes. I think there's 3 lakes right in the downtown of Alexandria. So yeah, there's an abundance of water everywhere. So yeah, water's not really concerned. Like, you'll never see me carry water. Like, I never have water. I'll carry like my water bottle, or I'll carry a container, but I'll never carry water. I don't want to carry the weight. And so I just filter it once I get there. I like filtering water because I don't like hot water. I know I can boil it, but I like filtering it so that it stays cold. Yeah. See, the one of my biggest survival skills that I hope to teach you guys soon is reading a compass. Because if you have a compass on you and you have a general direction, you know, you can get out of a lot of situations. A lot of situations can be completely avoided by heading west because there's a town over there, or heading north because there's a river up there, or heading south because there's a highway. You know, having that bailout plan, you know, where you have just a direction where it doesn't matter where you are in the state forest or the woods, just having a general direction that's going to take you somewhere can get you out of a lot of situations. Yeah. Yeah, good old Minnesota. You never got to worry about water. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't imagine living in a desert. See, I carry a Sawyer. I like Sawyer better than Life Straw. I like being able to squeeze it into a different container. That way I can cook with it and do other things with it. With a Life Straw, you're kind of limited to just drinking it. Where with the Sawyer, I can use it for cooking and cleaning and hygiene and a lot of different things. Oh, there goes the camera. shuts off after 30 minutes. The chat isn't showing up on this one. So, yeah. You gotta turn it off, turn it back on. Yeah, I don't know why. The camera shuts off after 30 minutes. And there's nothing I can do about it. I've tried and tried and tried. There's not a thing I can do about it. But I can turn it off, turn it back on. Yep. Yeah, I do. I prefer the Sawyers. I have a Sawyer Mini. I got 2 Sawyer Minis and a Sawyer Squeeze. And that's what I use. Yeah, I use a DSLR as my webcam. Yeah, there's a lot of people that carry the compass and think that that's good enough, but you really got to know how to use it. I actually, at Itasca State Park, I made a video on compasses, and I leave out all the big words. I'm not talking about declination. I'm not talking about lateral drift. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm just breaking it down to the most basic use of the compass, and so that whoever watches that video can look at their compass and get out of a bad situation without having to know anything else other than your compass points north. And I think that's going to help a lot of people. So I'm really excited to get that edited and get that out to everybody. See you, Dark Matter. Hope you have a great night. Guy in Brainerd, I'm going to have to look into that. No, I've tried that. At first I thought that it was the battery. I thought the battery was dying after 30 minutes. And so I have an external battery that hooks up to the USB. So the battery can't die because it's hooked up to the laptop. And it just shuts off after 30 minutes. And you can select if you want it to shut off after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or 30 minutes, but you can't get it to where it doesn't shut off at all. So that's annoying. Yeah, LifeStraw. See, they work just as well as the Sawyer does. I just like the way that the Sawyer, because you put it in the bag and then you squeeze it into your water bottle or your cook pot or whatever else. And so the Sawyer Mini and the Sawyer Squeeze, the bigger one, I like the Sawyer Squeeze. I used the Sawyer Mini for a long time. But the Sawyer Mini I used for a long time, and I really liked it. But the Sawyer Squeeze gives you a lot more water faster. So I switched over to that one. Yeah, knowing how to read a map can save you a lot too. Yeah. See, misusing it too, because like a lot of people I see, because I watch videos on people and they don't know that the red side's the north side. You know, they just see, because like a magnet has a red side and a white side, and so they just think that it's like a magnet, and they don't know which side is which. They just think it's a north-south line, and it's you have to know, you have to research it. I know it's not the funnest topic, but like I said, in the video that I'm making, it's going to eliminate all that stuff, and it's just going to show you how to use the compass to get out of a bad situation without any muss or fuss. Yeah, see, that's the another thing that I'm bringing up, is how you need to look at your map before you go anywhere. You need to have a plan before you even leave the house. The very first thing I do before I go anywhere is I study the map and I find ditch out points. You know, I find, where's there a highway? Where's there a river that runs the whole length of the woods that I can escape to? Where is different things, you know? And so I'm excited to show you guys that video. Yeah, I actually can show you that right now. So another thing that I wanted to talk about, but I forgot about until you just brought it up, is I gotta fix this here. So when it comes to my Amazon store, you can go to my website to find it. Just go to my gear. So wolfpackwoodcraft.com. Yours is gonna look different because I'm logged in. You can go to, so a lot of people ask about my YouTube gear, what I use for YouTube, and so that's here. And so everything that I personally use, everything that I've personally needed to run this YouTube channel is right here. So here's that battery USB thing that I'm using for this DSLR. Here's the USB hub that I hooked my Ethernet cable up to, because flash in the pan, that was the problem. My Wi-Fi was, the signal was going down and up and down and up and down and up. And so now that I got the Ethernet cable, it's a lot more consistent. So I got that. Tripods, batteries, cleaning kits, memory cards. Here's the microphone that I'm talking into right now. Here's the cameras. So here's the T5i that I'm using right now. But everything I use for YouTube is here. And you guys can heart these. You can give them hearts and tell me what you like. So like my influencer page has 78 hearts. And so that's good. But hopefully you guys come in here, and even if you don't buy anything, if you could just leave hearts, and so I can see what you guys want more of. Because like if you guys want to see more sleeping gear in my store, or more bug protection, whatever it is that you guys are interested in, one, it's going to allow me to do the research on stuff you guys actually want so that I can put it in the store. And also it's going to give me more video ideas so I can review more gear that you guys are interested in. And so I think I have under cooking and eating, pretty sure I have the Sawyers in here. Well, maybe not. So I'm going to add the Sawyers to this when we get offline. So that you guys, because they make it very, very easy. Do I have them in here at all? Maybe oh, there's the mini. So here's the mini. And so yeah, you hook this pouch up to the mini, and then you just squeeze your water into another container, or you can just drink out of it like a life straw. You can, there's a lot of options you can have. I need to put the mini and the squeeze in the influencer. So the influencer is everything that's in here minus my YouTube gear, and then I have it separated as well. So there's that. I'm gonna have to get the filters and stuff into the store as well. So there's the dog barking. Brainerd, that's about an hour and a half away. Dog's mad. Somebody walking outside. Yep. So yeah, I like the Sawyer squeeze and the Sawyer mini. Like I said, I used the Sawyer mini for a long time. Here, I'm gonna get my dog real quick. That dog makes everything harder. Yeah, there she is again. She's a good dog, though. I like her a lot. We got a surprise with you. We got to embark. So we're going to find out exactly what she is. We're going to see if she's actually 100% German Shepherd. Yeah, the YouTube premiere. Yeah, see the the lateral drift can throw you off, the declination can throw you off, the 1 single degree can throw you off, the more distance. But the video I'm putting out doesn't focus on any of that. It just focuses on basic stuff that's going to get you in a better situation. Instead, you're not going to be able to find a pinpoint location. You're not going to be geocaching with the video I'm making, but it's just going to get you out of bad situations. Yeah, I'm going to have to add the Sawyer Squeeze. I'll put it in the camp cooking so you don't have to go through everything. It's in the whole store. My influencer, so like my whole store, the influencer, it was featured on, I had it written down. It was featured on, I didn't write down what it was featured on. It was featured on something, so I got a lot of publicity for it. It was featured on some camping Amazon thing, so I was pretty excited about that. Yeah, see, you can use the mini and you can use the squeeze both as with gravity filters. You can use them as straws systems, so you can drink right out of the water source. You can use them in line with a water bladder, so you can put dirty water in your water bladder and then just filter it as you're drinking it. I mean, they're very, very versatile. Dogs are harder than kids sometimes. They're a lot faster, give you that. See you, Black Sheep. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate it. Try and survive. Thank you. Yeah, see, that's what I do too. I don't rely on a GPS almost ever. Even my phone. When we drive places, we pull out the map and we use the map, and we don't use the phone unless we're like really lost. And usually, like, we do really well when we're going to like Itasca State Park or some state park or somewhere, you know. But when you're like in Minneapolis, I usually almost always have to pull out the phone. It's just because it's so chaotic on the whole road system that you don't have the time to figure it out, you know. Yep. Yeah. I hope everybody has a great afternoon. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Like I said, last Sunday every month I'll be on at 12 o'clock Minnesota time. So we've been on for about 36 minutes already. The Mountain House freeze-dried meals I use all the time. Yeah, see, they are a little pricey, but the thing that I like most about them is they're lightweight. You can I just figured this out the other day. 1 can of ravioli equals 5 or 6 servings of Mountain House. And so if you could carry 1 can of ravioli, that's 1 meal, or 6 servings of Mountain House, and it's the same weight. And so like for an overnighter, I can get a lasagna and a chicken and rice for dinner. And then for breakfast, I usually have a Pop-Tart or something that I can just open and eat. I am not a morning person. And then in the afternoon, I can have another Mountain House. And it's not a lot of weight. Have a good one, Danny. Happy birthday. So yeah, I really like that. Another thing that I like about Mountain House is all you have to do is boil water. So there's no dishes, there's no cleanup, there's no nothing. All you have is that little pouch. And you can boil water using anything. You can use an alcohol stove, a canister stove, the fire, where when you're cooking actual meals, like we'll have steak and we'll have eggs and we'll have different things sometimes. But cooking eggs on a canister stove is a lot harder than cooking eggs on a fire, in my opinion. And so any way that you do it, it's a little bit different. Where Mountain House is always the same. You just boil water. Yeah, I like Mountain House. The lasagna, the chicken and rice, I can't think of them now, but there's a lot of really good ones. Even the desserts, I like the desserts as well. And like I said, they're lightweight and they don't take up a lot of room. So I'm a big fan of Mountain House. You're paying to save weight, I think. Save weight and the convenience of, like I said, cooking on anything. You just boil the water and eat. Yeah, the Caroline is getting some other dehydrated meals. They're paleo, I think. Paleo meals. They're dehydrated paleo specific meals, but they're just dehydrated meals. We're not on a paleo diet, but it's just different options. It's healthier options. Yeah. See, I would eat them all the time if they weren't so expensive. There's a lot of sodium and stuff in them as well. So, yeah, they definitely have a very important role in my backpacking and camping. I eat a lot of Mountain House. The thing is, they're so delicious too. They're so good. Like, I've tried Backpacker's Pantry, and Backpacker's Pantry is still lightweight, and it's still, you know, you just have to boil water. But in my opinion, it's not as good as Mountain House. And so they're still good, and I don't mind eating them. But there's something about Mountain House. They really know how to make good meals. Chicken and noodles, yeah, I like all their chicken meals. I like their biscuits and gravy. If you add the right amount of water so that the biscuits aren't crunchy, oh, that's good. The biscuits and gravy is really good. They have a lot of really good options. We can go check those out. I have some in my store. The chicken and rice is probably my favorite. Yeah, I can't click on them because it's in my... I can't order my own stuff. Apple crisp is good. Biscuits and gravy, lasagna. The cheesecake bites, they're okay. They're a nice little treat, but I'd like something more filling. The turkey dinner casserole is good. Yeah, they have a lot of really good options. And they're hearty meals, you know, they fill you up. It's not just a bunch of fluff in a bag, you know. Their chicken and mashed potatoes, I like their chicken and mashed potatoes. They really like the Mountain House meals. Nothing beats a good steak over the fire though. If you can cook a nice steak on the fire, the way that the fire just like it crisps up the fat, and I don't know, there's cooking a good steak on the fire is probably the best camping meal there is. Pork and rice, yeah, they're all good. Let's see here. Oh, when I did my ribs pack video, I was camping out, and this whole Bible study came, so I didn't get a trip video then. And so then we went to Itasca State Park, and I got a little bit of a video in, like a trip video, but then they were cutting down trees and stuff. So my Itasca State Park trip video doesn't really have an ending. And so I might post it just because it was so beautiful out there, and I have footage of the headwaters of the Mississippi and stuff. And so my next trip video is going to be a little weird at the end, but it's the best I could do with what I had, I guess. Wild meat cooked over a fire. Squirrel, I like squirrel. And rabbit. I've never tried Thrive. I know a lot of people that invest in Thrive. They have a lot of Thrive gear, like a lot of Thrive meals and stuff. But I never got into it. It might be something I have to look into. When it comes to all the trying new stuff, that's Caroline's forte. She likes trying new stuff. I'm more of a stick to what I know kind of guy. And so that's why she's just trying the paleo meals now. So we'll see how those turn out. Yeah. But yeah, so that's everything I have on my list. Yeah, I got some nice videos coming up. I got a more Garber carbon steel video coming out. I got that compass video coming out. I have a camping with dog video coming out. Caroline's getting a lot of taste test videos done. You had some squirrel or rabbit, and then yeah, I'm gonna post the Itasca trip video. It's not gonna be my best video, but it it was beautiful. You guys are gonna be excited to see it. It doesn't really have an ending, but I don't think you guys will mind too much. Yeah, a lot of good stuff on the way. I'm partnering with a company to see if I can do a giveaway, so we're gonna try that. Thrive Life, moose. That'd be nice. No, I don't think I've ever had moose. I've eaten a lot of different kind of meat, but I don't think I've ever had moose. Oh, I got the Pathfinder Canteen kit, so I'm gonna do a comparison on that in the next couple days. I'm gonna try to break up my Itasca Park videos. I have in the info card on this side, I think one of these sides, I have polls. So I have some questions. Then, if you guys want to answer those, I'd appreciate that a lot. Just I used to have a 2-minute Tip Talk Taco Tuesday, where every Tuesday I had a video about YouTube or stuff that just wasn't camping related, and then it kind of ended up being camping related somehow. But 3 videos a week was hard to keep up. You know, I was still trying to learn how to use my camera. I was still trying to learn how to do different things, but I'm getting a lot better at it. And so one of the questions is if you guys want me to start making YouTube videos again, and those will be on Tuesdays. I won't take up my Sunday and Thursday camping videos, because I started YouTube because I love camping. Like, that hasn't changed. I love camping. I love nature. I love the gear. So every Sunday and Thursday is going to be about camping, because that's what I like. But starting YouTube, you know, I've learned a lot about YouTube. I've learned a lot about camera gear, camera equipment, lenses, microphones. I've learned a lot of other things to get on and show you guys my camping stuff. I've learned other things. Thank you so much for answering. Yeah, the thing is before, it was hard for me to keep up doing 3 videos a week, and then not only was it hard for me to keep up, but nobody was really watching my Tuesday videos because they weren't camping related. And so it's not really worth me taking the time to do a Tuesday video if nobody's gonna watch them anyway. I might as well put more effort into the camping videos. But I got a lot of little tips and tricks that I can show you guys, especially when it comes to growing a YouTube channel and the different aspects of that, because there's a lot of things that I think you guys could incorporate into your own channels and your own platforms that would really help you out. But I'm going to keep them all to myself unless you guys want them. Yeah, I'm excited. I got a lot of stuff coming up. I'm gonna try to start a series, which I'm excited about, because when I first started, I had the 10 C's series, where I went through all 10 C's in their own video. So I had a cutting tool video, a combustion video, a cover video, and now I'm gonna have a starting to camp series, where I talk about some of the first things that you need to invest in and some of the first things that you need to learn before you go out to camp. And I'm pretty excited about that. Be safe and have fun. Bring a cotton bandana and get it wet before you go out. Help keep you cool. And help keep you dry too. Yeah, I will. I'm gonna be here every Sunday and Thursday till they kick me out. YouTube's gonna have to drag me out before I stop. My goal is to do 1,000 videos. 1,000. Once I have 1,000 videos, I'm gonna look back on everything that I've done, and I'm gonna see how I can make another 1,000. Yep, set it up with 10. The setting up a tent and a tarp and everything, a lot of people take that for granted. A lot of people think that it's just easy, you know, and then they get it and they're trying to set it up and it doesn't make any sense. But once you figure out the basics, like the very, very basics, I can set up any tent, you know, I can figure it out easy because I have the basics. But if you don't have those basics, it can be a real nightmare. How about camping in minus 40 degrees? I could do that. I camped out, I think it only got to negative 20 when I did my Teenage Outdoor sleeping pad review. I think it only got down to negative 20, but again, that can get dangerous real quick. One of my first times winter camping, I screwed up pretty bad actually. And so it was winter, you know, I had my fire, I was bundled up, you know, so I was warm, I was comfortable, I never really got cold. And then nighttime came, and I climbed into my sleeping bag, fully clothed, and I had my MMSS, and I had it all together, so it was a negative 40 degree bag, and it got down to negative 20, no, negative like 15 maybe. So it's negative 15 degrees. I'm in a negative 40 degree sleeping bag, and I was all bundled up, and I thought I was winning. I thought I had it all figured out. I thought it doesn't get any better than this. And I ended up sweating in the middle of the night because it was so hot, you know, like I was hot, comfy, cozy, and I ended up sweating, which wasn't a big deal until I had to get out of that sleeping bag, because you can't just stay in that sleeping bag forever. And I got out and I almost froze instantly, and it was not fun. You take care, flash in the pan. Yep. You know, the angling your tent stakes. And then in the winter, a lot of people, they like to bang their tent stakes in just like they would in the summer. In the winter, you want to leave them out a good ways. I like to angle them more so that the stake is holding it down, not the little hook or whatever you want to use. I like to keep them out at least 4 or 5 inches. I like to get the big long steel stakes, and you keep them out a long way, because what will happen is snow will melt, you know, from your body heat and stuff. Snow will melt, or the sun will melt it, and they'll freeze into the ground. And if they're all the way in, getting them out is a monster. It sucks. But if you leave them out 4 or 5 inches, you can pound them in a couple inches to loosen up all the ice and everything that's holding them in. Oops, sorry guys. And then you can pull them out a lot easier. So I always leave a big chunk of my stakes out so that I have room to pound them in, because it's easier to pound them in and break all that stuff loose, or even pound them down at an angle to kind of loosen up all that stuff. Use the leverage of it sticking out to kind of pry it out of the ground if you have to, but always leave a good chunk of your stakes out in the winter. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of basic stuff to get started. Yep, because yeah, I've been there where I put my stakes in the ground just like I always would in the summer. I put them in, and then like I said, you're out there for a couple days and the sun heats up the snow and melts and it gets in that hole, and all of a sudden you have this frozen stake in the ground and you're trying to get it out. It's not a good time. Not a good time at all. But yeah, you leave them out, and like 4 to 5 inches. If you get the big long stake, leave them out quite a ways. I like to angle them more too, so that yeah, like I said, it's being pinched down by the stake, but I still have the leverage to whack it loose. Yeah, see, it's all those little things that I had to figure out on my own, but if somebody would have told me, I would have had a lot more fun, and I would have probably gotten out a lot more because I wasn't worried about it, Because like I said, when you wake up sweaty in negative 15-degree temperatures and you have to get out of your bag and you freeze instantly, I was scared to do it again. Like, I was worried of what was going to happen. And so you don't get out as much as you normally would. So it's shut off twice, which means it's been an hour. But you don't get out as much, and you don't do what you wanted to do because that thought's always in your head. Or the stakes, they're in the ground and you can't get them out. You think that you can't go camping again. It's too cold to go camping. Or it really isn't too cold to go camping. It's just not the ideal way of doing it. There's a much better way of performing those tasks than the way you initially did it. So, turn my camera back on. I should just invest in like a really good... I should invest in a really good webcam. The DSLR picture is the best, but I don't know. It's kind of a pain in the butt always having to turn it off, turn it back on every 30 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to be on for another 5 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Yeah, knots. When I first started out, that's another thing. When I first started out, I wanted to learn all these knots. I wanted to learn how to do the trucker's hitch and the slippery half hitch, and I like the self-locking knots and all these different knots. But then once you actually put in the dirt time, there's only like 3 knots that I use. Like all the other ones that I learned, I forgot because I don't ever use them. And it's just, it's if I taught you those 3 knots, you could go out there and you could get started, and all the other knots you could learn, but at least if you had the 3, you could perform. And that's kind of what I'm after with the Starting to Camp series. Is I'm not going to teach you the best way of doing it. I'm just going to teach you a way of doing it so that you actually can go out there and have fun. You can be comfortable and you can have fun, and you don't have to worry about failing. When you winter camp in Florida, I think it's a little different in Florida. I think the tent stake trick is the farther south you go, the less tent stake I think you need. I think that's how that works. Yeah, the Canadian jam knot, that's a good one too. I used to know how to do all those, and now I use a bowline, trucker's hitch, and the I can't remember what it's called. Joe Robnett always calls it 2 on the inside, 1 on the outside. Can't remember what it's called. But yeah, those are the 3 that I use. I don't really use any other knots really, because the only thing I'm using knots for is setting up my tarp, in which my tarp is set up the way it's always set up. And then if I were to make like a tripod or something, I would use the same knots. So it really, I don't know, once you get your knots, you learn them all, and then you find the ones that work for you. And then you don't need all the other ones. I did, this is a secret. My son is turning 6, August 22nd. So for his birthday, I got him a knot tying kit. And so it's like this it's this camping thing for kids, and it comes with plastic rods that look like sticks, and it comes with all these different things, and it teaches you a bunch of different knots. So I'm excited to teach him how to do that, and if it's actually worth something, I might show you guys it as well. Because that's the thing I want to focus on too, is I want to get kids more involved. Like, my audience is 25 to 55, so I don't want to do a lot of little kid stuff. But once I kind of thought about it, is that age group is usually parents. Like, you're a dad, and so if I can show some stuff, because before I had Hayden on showing some of his favorite toys that he brings camping, and those performed pretty well. But so I might get into showing more little kid stuff, so that, you know, because the little kids are the ones that are going to determine if the woods are going to exist in the future. So if we can get them involved in hunting and fishing and camping and bushcraft and woodcraft and all of these different things, it's a skill that's going to last in eternity, and something I really want to work on. I don't know how, but I'm trying. How can one not like knots? I don't know. You need the knots. You cannot like frayed knots. I hate that when the paracord gets all frayed at the end. But I suppose my hour's up. So if you guys have any last questions, comments, or concerns, quick leave them in the comments section. Make sure to go and check out my Facebook. Here, I'll do it again. Check out my YouTube, which you're already here. Check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Amazon. If you guys could leave hearts, just only leave hearts on the ones that you're actually interested in. Usually when you ask people to do something, they just go and they heart everything, and they just do everything because they want to be supportive. But I actually want you guys to not heart everything on this situation right here. Just heart the ones that you're really interested in, and that way I can see where I need to focus more of my attention on. Then you can find me on Reddit. I don't do a lot on Reddit, but I'm trying to learn Reddit, so you can find me there as well. Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to be here. Yep, I'll be last Sunday. So the first Sunday every month is a Caroline's Taste Test. And the last Sunday of every month, I'm going live. 12 o'clock Minnesota time for at least an hour. And yeah, thank you all so much for stopping by. Make sure to like and share this video. Let everybody know that I'm out here. Canadians are crazy. There's a lot of Canadians that watch my channel, so don't get too don't go too crazy. But yeah, make sure to watch my videos and share them. That's the big thing. A lot of people like to blame YouTube for their channel not growing because YouTube isn't distributing their content, when in all reality, you guys are the ones that distribute the content. Every like and share promotes the channels you like, and that's where the reach comes from. That's awesome. Yeah, and so make sure to share. You share these videos, and because you guys that are watching are interested in this stuff, and your guys' friends and family are usually interested in this stuff as well, and that's how people get found. It's not YouTube. YouTube has never done anything for anyone. It's you guys doing the sharing, and I appreciate you guys so much. You guys have been liking, commenting, sharing. I've learned so much in the comment section. It's all because of you guys. And like I said, I'm going to be here until YouTube throws me out. I'll be here every Sunday and Thursday. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. You guys take care.